Hey everyone. See a lot of good gun videos on YouTube, and everybody's talking about guns and what you should buy. One thing I don't see is um, videos on magazines. And really, your magazine is really the heart of your semi-auto weapon, whether it be pistols, rifles, carbines, or whatever. Even shotguns, even a semi-auto shotgun or a pump shotgun, you got to pay attention to your magazine. Make sure your followers and everything are working the way they should. Um, yeah, that comes from my own experience. I ran armories for quite a while in the military on ships and even a couple of land-based armories. So at any one time, I'd have 50-45s, a bunch of M14s, M60s, and mod deuces, all of them. So one thing I learned with all the weapons that would come back from ranges and stuff, and oh, Gunny, this 45 is a piece of crap. It doesn't work. It's jamming all day. And guaranteed, you go through it. Well, there's nothing wrong with the pistol. It's a magazine problem. So I'd like to show you on my 45. I got this one is this one's a Shooting Star magazine. These are all right. They're not very expensive. They're pretty nice magazines. They're designed for competition, and this is an 8-round magazine. You can see in mine, I usually just keep 7 in there. There's no real reason for it. A lot of people worry about oh, you got an 8-round magazine. The most you can put in there is 5, but magazines have been stored fully loaded for a long time, and the springs don't go bad in them. It's they've been covered for 20 years with being loaded, and they're just fine. The part I wanted to show you is I'll show you the follower in the magazine later, but what I really wanted to show you is you can see the part of the magazine that's bent over on yours, those feed lips, and all they really are is, you got a stamped metal magazine and they form it and they bend it around, and then they just put those little feed lips on there to hold the round. It makes it just big enough to where it doesn't slip through. I'm just trying to get a good view of it there. You can see it right there, right on the back of it, right here. Okay, that needs to operate real smooth. Okay, so one thing I do with magazines to check them when I get them is you load them, and then you just slide, start from the back and do it as the slide would take off around. Just take it and slide it, and you can tell, if it's dragging or anything. And I got rounds going everywhere. But that's one good way to check. And it should operate really smooth. I think you can see on the front of this Shooting Star mag, it's kind of interesting, the follower that's in it. It's got a guide, and then the upper part where the round actually sits on. And that keeps the follower inside from moving a bunch and binding. But these are actually really good magazines, and they're cheap. One thing I say with guys, I know people who have got 45s that cost $2,000. I'm like, oh, how many magazines you get? What kinds you get? And well, I got one. So you got one magazine for your 45? Well, what's the point? Have at least 3 of them. And I'll just show you real quick on here. What I'll do, if I find one of those that's got a rough feed lip on it, I got these stones. This is an ultra fine stone for my sharpener, for my knife sharpener. These work real well because I'll just go right inside. And if you have a little rough edge, all you really want to do is just buff those down a little bit so they feed real smooth. You don't want those catching on there at all. And then you got the followers. Okay, this is one of my Shooting Star mags. I got a few of these. They're real cheap to get, and they're real nice. This is one of my Wilson. This is one of my Wilson mags. These are real nice. They got kind of a different follower in there, and I'll show you. Anybody wants to know how to take apart a magazine, there'll be these holes in the bottom of it. And all you got to do is depress that. It's just a little plate in the bottom of the magazine. Okay. All right. Take the base plate out, and then you can take all the spring and everything out. Now that comes out, and then your follower comes out, and that's the Wilson follower. That's kind of cool. It's a little high strength polymer follower, and this is the front rounded edge that goes in the magazine. You can see how that's pretty good. That goes on the spring and it rides in the magazine really well, and I've had really good luck with those Wilson mags. And again, with these, I'll try and show you the feed lips on these really good, if I can ever even find the camera. You can see how that bends down a little bit right in the back, and right in the back there. And the underside of that, since all it is just stamped, metal, you want to make sure that that's a real good edge that round can ride on, and strip your round out of your magazines really good. And if you've got really nice functioning magazines like that, they should fire all day for you. Again, most important part of the semi-autos, I'm convinced, is nice quality magazines that operate really well. So review it, and if you got any questions, just let me know. Thanks.